Welcome back, everybody. It's 5 minutes before 7 o'clock here on this World Fisheries Day, and we're broadcasting from Saldanha Bay. Indeed, I suppose we're just fitting in with all the news coming out of Zimbabwe this morning. We completely understand that taking preference here on the program and keeping you up to date with the latest developments in our neighboring country. So, of course, you'll get more in the news. That's just in a couple of minutes. But we're really honored to be joined now by the Deputy Minister in charge of Agriculture and Fisheries, and he's, well, let me give the full title, actually, Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Bheki Cele. So good to see you. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah. So it's not quite today. It is tomorrow, World Fisheries Day. Tell us about the relevance and why it's so important for South Africa.
Well, it's declared by FAO Food and Agricultural Organization, like all other food issues. Fish, you would know, that is one of the high protein that could be easily accessible to ordinary people. So FAO declared it to say, as people fish, make money, but also must take care of communities wherever they are.
And certainly it is a huge staple food here in South Africa as well. If we look at 312 million kilograms of seafood are consumed in South Africa every single year, which I can imagine is a worry, especially when it comes to the different quotas and fishing quotas. How are they determined?
Well, it starts with science, Leanne. The science people will tell us that this is what we have and this is what we don't have. That's one. But historically, it has been biased in terms of in terms of Africans and white South Africans. Is most of the industry that still historically is given to people that were doing it some time back. That will be most white people, white South Africans dealing with that matter. The other thing is that we need to change that situation, transform it, and then the determination of quotas and all that goes with science and historically disadvantaged people getting in the industry. That's what we're trying to do.
Poaching, that's also another big issue. I mean, when we look at this battle of poaching, I mean, millions of rands of abalone, some of it's been confiscated. Are we losing the battle with poaching? I
don't think we are losing the battle, but it's a battle that we'll have to fight. Funny enough, you are raising the issue with abalone. I've never been in the restaurant in South Africa where I'm served abalone. I don't know if you have been. So, which means somebody is getting our abalone mostly out of the country. South Asia mostly is a destination of the thing. Indeed, we are trying to work harder on the matter, and I think at a certain given point we will have to win it. There is a lot of coming together, Leanne, on that. We are working with the South African police and other security agencies trying to stop that thing. But also we are working with Interpol, and also we are working with these countries. I'm not going to mention them here, the countries that we are trying to work to stop the importation of this illegal loot that they do in South Africa. Yeah. But for now, I want to agree, it's a serious issue, but it's an issue that I think in a not distant future we will win.
Good. There's also just one pressing issue as well about the West Coast rock lobster, and there's a lot of issue around WWF saying that it's on the red list. It said that a mere 2% of the pre-exploitation stocks are actually left in the sea, but a recovery plan for the species seems to not be in place for this, and that quotas here haven't actually been dropped. What's happened to the recovery plan for this particular species?
Well, if a year or two, you remember that a lot of it was came out of the sea, and people, the fishermen were saying that you tell us that this thing is low, but look at what the nature has done to it. The science would say is low, but there are arguments and there are contradictory kind of issues about it. The thing maybe we haven't done is to increase the sea science, Leanne, in South Africa. You remember, I've always said this, at the present moment we have one fish doctor in the Republic of South Africa, one. We have just sent 5 in Scotland, so that we increase the science, because the issue of checking these stocks dwindling is not only that, they must also tell us how are we going to increase it? Because it should be sustainable and the people of South Africa must benefit out of it. So it's no use for scientists only telling us that they're dwindling. They must also tell us what are they doing to sustain it. Is their job. Yeah. So that's a call we are making, and we hope that we'll be doing that very soon. Yeah. But there is an argument about it at the present moment, maybe that I can just discuss here, but on the other platform we are discussing these matters.
Well, as long as there is stuff that is happening behind the scenes. Minister, we're going to take a walk down there a little bit later and talk about more aquaculture. I'm hoping you'll join us for the conversation, because I know that's something that you're very proud of, and the department is working exceptionally hard and it's doing great things. So do stay tuned to the broadcast. We're going to have a lot more, but right now we're eating into the 7 o'clock news, so let's quickly get the details from Piles.